Does any part of you feel like totally suck at meditation? Like I don't get it. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I can't seem to quiet my mind. Or perhaps you're even feeling like I even know where to begin. Well, in case you were wondering, you're definitely not alone. There's many of us who have been out there. I myself have experienced this. These thoughts are so common, but today I really wanted to give you 10 of my favorite kind of meditation basics to really help you meditate better, maybe start a meditation practice, whether you're beginner or expert. We can always use a little reminder of how to up level our meditation. So these tips will have the power to change your meditation practice and ultimately your life. If you're new, my name is Danielle Washington, and I'm your host of the Hello Well with Danielle podcast, your mental weekly vacation from the daily grind for busy women who just need a moment to pause, breathe in, this time woosah and meditate. This episode is definitely for everyone. So again, if you're just not even a woman and not busy, but you're like, I still need to figure out how to meditate, this is for you too. So what am I talking about? So I have basically 10 things that have helped me meditate because when I first started trying to meditate, I was told I had the mindset that meditation was about emptying my mind. It was about creating that blank space and not thinking about anything. But when you meditate, it's not about having this blank slate, not having any thoughts. What it is about bringing your mind to the point of where maybe self talk ceases, but it's never blank. It's full of awareness, sensations, feelings, images. I get some of my best aha moments when I'm meditating. So, tip number one is that I want you to know that the mind will wander. Accept it. Don't try to fight it. It's time to accept that the mind will wander. The mind is still active. You are not asleep. The mind is awake and it will wander. There's this big misconception that meditation means being perfectly quiet, as I was telling you before, and it's not how it works. The mind will wander, and that's completely normal. The key is to accept without judgment, allowing the thoughts to pop up, acknowledge them, and gently guide them and your attention back to your breath. Like when you're able to have your mind have the thoughts, like I'm the first one when I first started meditating, it's like, okay, when am I going to cook? I would start going through my to-do list when I started realizing that the thought is not to try to have no thoughts. B, when I was able to connect my breath and know that when I connected back to my breath, I could quiet the mind. That's when I was able to accept that, oh, thoughts will come up, but doesn't mean I have to attach to them. Doesn't mean I have to analyze them. I can acknowledge them and let them blow through as if they were a cloud in the wind. So, the more you allow your thoughts to come up and go, the easier it becomes to stay present. So, rule number one, or tip number one, the mind will wander. Accept it. Please stop fighting it. Number two, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. So let's put this one to rest right now, right here. There is no right or wrong way to meditate. You heard it here first. Meditation takes hella different forms, from guided meditation to walking meditation to, in Kundalini, we do moving meditations where we're chanting, moving our hands. There's all different types of meditations, even like mindful breathing meditations. Meditating could be dancing. Like, I feel like when I was dancing tango back in the day, because as a woman, you're just following, I would get into a meditative state of just being a follower. Meditation, it's a practice across various cultures, different traditions, each offering its own approach. So one person's meditation may look hella different compared to someone else's. And the goal isn't about perfection. It's not being a certain way, making sure that I have my legs in some lotus pose and I have my hands perfectly at a certain angle, the sun's hitting me right. I'm meditating at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have a certain specific outfit on. No, it's about calming the mind and staying present. Let go of the ideal that, quote unquote, my meditation isn't working. Today, we're going to let go of that phrase of my meditation isn't working. If you're sitting and you're dedicating your time, or you're standing or dancing, walking, and you're dedicating your time to be with yourself, to be with your thoughts and to be present, focusing in on your breath, well, boom, let me help you out. You just succeeded in meditating. So, tip number 2, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. Number 3, and this is one of my most important key tips for how to really become an expert meditator, is to start small and build. Like, you don't need to meditate for an hour every single day right out the gate. I'm going to need you to start small. Maybe it's just 3 minutes. Maybe it's 5 minutes. Maybe it's even just a single deep breath at your desk once a day. The key behind this is being consistent. Like any other sport, it's not a sport, but like if you were a sport, you were training for a marathon, or you were starting to play basketball or soccer, you have to practice. You have to build it up. You want to gradually build to your meditation muscles. And then over time, you'll be able to get to a place where you're like, oh, okay, this feels easier. I may crave to do a little bit more. Like, for example, for me, I started off doing, in Kundalini, we often do 40-day meditations. And I've been doing several of them, and I was doing this one meditation for 40 days. And then my mentor was like, okay, do it for 90. I'm like, okay, great, period. I'm going to do it for 90. Then he was like, okay, great, do it for 1,000 days. I was like, whoo, hold up, 1,000 days? I did the calculation. That's over 2 years. That's like 2 years and 7 months. And I was like, I don't know. And then I was thinking about, okay, I could do this. If I'm going to do this, I had the opportunity to pick how long I was going to do it for. I could do it for 11 minutes. I could do it for 31 minutes. And I had to figure out what was my capacity, that where I knew every single day I could do this consistently. So I chose a time between 11 and 31 minutes to make sure that I knew I could be consistent. But had I not started off smaller with doing meditations that were like 3 minutes, start and doing that for a certain amount of time, and then building on that, and then building on that to get to this point, I don't think, I can tell you right now from jump, there ain't no way I would have been able to be consistent with 1,000-day meditation. And I'm like, at 800 something days, like 700, 800, I stopped counting. I just know when the end date is. But I'm about 6 months out from completing this 1,000-day meditation. And that's because I started small and I allowed myself to build my practice. So that's tip number 3. Start small and build. Number 4, try different types of meditation. Like my yoga practice, I thought meditation wasn't for me. I'm like, this doesn't work. This is stupid. This is for some yogis, and I'm not a yogi. At least at the time, I wasn't a yogi, but I wanted to meditate. And it was when I was able to try different types of meditation and realize that, oh, wait, meditation isn't just about sitting still and just breathing and not thinking, which is what I thought it was supposed to be. There's so many different ways to meditate. So don't be afraid to try different types until you find what resonates with you. What resonated with me when I really started getting into meditation was doing guided meditations. There's so many places to find guided meditations. You can go to YouTube. I have meditations on there. You can go to Insight Timer. I have meditations there too. You can go to other apps like Calm, or there's some. I bet you could find some also on Spotify. There's tons of places where you can find meditations. So try a guided meditation and try different types. There's ones that feel like they're focusing in on your sleep. Maybe there's ones that's something that feels like it's where you're moving. Like for me, I really love doing Kundalini yoga meditations because it hits different for me. I feel the difference when I'm chanting a mantra, when I'm meditating. That's what helps me quiet my mind. And not quiet my mind per se, but it helps my mind get into a state of awareness to where I'm not grasping on every thought that comes into my mind. Instead, I'm so focused in on the meditation that I come into my own state of stillness and presence. So again, that's what works for me. I hella love a mantra when meditating. I like doing body scans. Even yoga nidra, which I also do, is another way to meditate. I love walking meditations. I like dancing meditations. So people who enjoy focusing in on their breath, while others prefer focusing in on sound and visualization or music, there is something for everyone. Just explore until you find what clicks for you. Tip number 5, find your cozy. Get comfortable with you. What feels most relaxing to you? One of the mistakes I first made when I started meditating was like I had to sit in, cross-legged. And when you aren't used to sitting cross-legged and you're trying to do this for a long period of time or even a short period of time, that doesn't feel comfortable. Meditation isn't about putting yourself in these awkward positions that feel uncomfortable, that feel stiff. That's not what it's about. That's like anti-meditation. You need to find your cozy spot. And that looks different from other people. Some people like to meditate with their back against the wall, their legs out. That's a great way. Some people like to meditate lying on their back. Some people like to have a pillow propped behind them. Some people like to do all these different things, like to meditate in a chair, maybe on a couch, maybe standing. There's many different ways. The point behind this is I need you to find your cozy spot. What works for you? Maybe it is lying on the mat. Maybe it is sitting on the chair. Maybe it's curling up in your favorite blanket. The position that feels most relaxing to you is your best position for meditation. The more comfortable your body is, the more at ease your mind will be. The only caveat behind this is you want to make sure you're not in a space so much to where it's gonna make you fall asleep. So you don't want to be so relaxed that you're falling asleep. So you want to be relaxed enough to where you can get your body comfortable and at ease, but not to the point to where you're like, and scene, I'm out. So get comfy, get cozy. Tip number 6, use your breath as an anchor. The breath is bae. Breath is bae. Your breath is your best friend when it comes to meditation. Whenever your mind starts to drift, gently bring it back to your breath. The rhythm of your breath, keeping it slow, keeping it steady, is your anchor. It helps keep you grounded and present. Even a simple practice like focusing in on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body, or what I love to do is I kind of see my breath as an elevator going up, an elevator going down, can do wonders of keeping the mind kind of in present state and not focusing on your to-do list, your hunger moods, your argument you had last week, and just kind of keeps you in a good grounded space. So I always tell you, when in doubt, when the mind starts wandering, use your breath as an anchor. When you're just in a practice in general, use your breath as an anchor. And even side note on this, I like to meditate when I feel like I can feel emotions coming up that I don't want to speak my mind because I may say something that I may have to regret later. I use my breath as a form of meditation to get my emotions and my nervous system to calm down. So that's a bonus tip. Tip number 7, designate a sacred place and time, same place. There's something about consistency. Setting aside a designated time and place for your meditation can help train your mind to enter into this peaceful state that we're talking about more easily. So whether it's a corner in your living room, maybe it's your closet, maybe it's the bathroom because you're away from, other people in your house, a spot by the window, just have a specific place you can return to every day for your meditation. And this sends a signal to your brain that, okay, when I'm in this place, this is my time. This is my time to go within, to unplug, and just woosah. Tip number 8, please give yourself some grace. This is a practice. Like any new skill, meditation takes time. It takes what? Practice. It's practice. I need you to be patient with yourself. Think about when you were a little kid and you learned how to ride a bike. Did you maybe this is you, and if this was you, it wasn't me. The first time you rode a bike or you start learning how to drive a car, You weren't perfect at it. It took practice. So if you're finding it challenging or if you miss a day, please don't be hard on yourself. Just like learning a new sport, you have to keep at it. It's okay not to feel good at meditation right away. It's okay for it to feel uncomfortable because it's new. It's not always comfortable learning something new because we're out of our comfort zone because we are trying something new. So give yourself way more compassion that you normally would give. Think about it this way. Give yourself the compassion and grace that you would give a 3-year-old. And trust that with time, it will get easier. And especially if you find the right type of meditation that works for you and not the one that everyone else is saying, oh, you have to do this one. Tip number 9, pause before your next task. And what I mean by this is after meditating, give yourself a moment to pause before jumping back into your day. Pause before checking emails. Pause before looking at your to-do list and jumping back into that. Take a few breaths to integrate the physical, emotional, mental shifts that were occurring during your practice. Whether you recognize they were happening or not, they were happening. Just give yourself at least 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes before you kind of jump in and just like sit there. Maybe let the thoughts just be, noticing what comes up, not taking it as a moment to analyze it unless you choose to analyze it, but give yourself time to transition. Allow yourself to carry that calmness of your meditation with you as you ease back into your daily life. And then tip number 10 is, I love this one, but it's like stretch before meditating. Prepare your body. In Kundalini Yoga, which is where I'm trained as a yoga teacher, we always do different exercises and warm-up exercises before meditating. So it prepares the body for meditation. Like if you are cooking cookies or baking something, baking a pie, you're going to prepare the oven by turning it on before you're using it. You're going to grease the pan. The same thing with your body. You want to grease the muscles. You want to get the body moving. I like to do something like, if you're doing something simple, put my soles of my feet together, sitting up tall, and then I'm sitting on the ground, and then I'll just bounce my legs. So that's a good one. Or I'll sit cross-legged, grab the front leg. I will do what's called spinal flexion. You can also look this up online. And just inhaling my body forward, exhaling my body backwards. I do ego eradicator, which is another breathing exercise. Doing segmented breathing, inhaling 4 sniffs in, exhaling 4 sniffs out. So, or just even just doing stretches. Having your hands up in the air, standing up tall, and bending down, doing squats. Any of those types of things will help the body, prepare the body for meditation. Stretching your body before meditating can just help release any muscle tension, physical tension, emotional tension, making it easier for you to settle into the practice. And again, it just helps you be more prepared, allowing you to sit in a more comfortable position and feel more at ease. The reality is behind all this is meditation is personal. It's your personal journey. I can give you my 10 tips for not even perfecting. I don't even want to use the word perfecting because there is no perfect way to meditate. But these 10 tips will help you maybe find a little bit more ease in your practice because it doesn't need to be complicated. As you move forward, I need you to remember that it's not about doing it right or wrong. There's no perfect way to meditate. It's about finding what works for you and making it your own, finding your flow so you can free your soul. Start small, give yourself grace, and these little magical tips and golden rules are there for you to guide you. They're not the end all be all. If some of them don't work for you, throw them out. Keep what resonates and don't use the other ones. But whether you're looking for peace, clarity, or just a moment to breathe and just like know that, okay, I can get through this day, Meditation could be one of the most powerful tools in your life. And I say this from someone who I know meditation has literally saved many relationships. Meditation has helped me be able to set better boundaries with myself and other people. And it has helped me be more aware of how I'm showing up in the world, shifting some patterns so I could be in alignment with the life that I truly desire. So, I don't know, try it. Let me know if any of these resonate with you. I encourage you to keep exploring and share this episode with anyone else who may need a little extra encouragement. But until then, keep breathing, stay present, give yourself permission to simply be, and know that you're worthy of all this. I'll talk to you next week. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.